From the Farmers Union Insurance Center on the campus of Scheels Arena in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas alongside my partner Mark Johnson as we get set for North Dakota High School boys hockey action as the South-Shanley Bruins prepare to take on the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders. Well, folks, tonight should be a great game featuring two teams on opposite sides of the standings. The South-Shanley Bruins playing some good hockey right now, fighting their way up the standings in fifth right now. Grand Forks Red River, meanwhile, the top dog in the East, I believe, might be a point or two behind Central, but Red River, of course, one of the top teams in the state, so we're seeing a clash of two foes on the opposite end of the spectrum, but, you know, I think we've got reason to believe tonight should be a pretty close game, don't you think?
Yeah, right, Jed. You know, the last game that the Bruins played, they played Davies really tough. I thought that was an excellent effort. They kept their feet moving. And I think that's what it's going to take tonight from the Bruins. They're going to have to utilize their speed and their intelligence, and you know, and that's a big, fast, good hockey team over there at Red River. Pretty talented. They're going to get some scoring from a couple different lines. Their defensive core are big. But, again, if South-Shanley, if the Bruins can move their feet, you know, anything can happen, especially with how they played Davies last week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, the last time these two teams played, it was an 8-1 win in favor of Red River. But I think you'd agree we're looking at a very different South-Shanley team here.
Right. Well, South-Shanley's, that's a young team. And you need to see everybody, get a lap, see all these teams in the EDC, go down, play some tournaments, see some different types of teams, and this team's smarter and better for it the second lap around. So, yeah, we should see a better game this time.
Absolutely, and you know, personally, I think it's all going to come down to the start here. I think South-Shanley, you know, if they can even just keep things tied at the end of the first, that'd be huge for them. I think if they get in a hole early here, you know, with a young team like that, they might go into panic mode. So I think a good start will be key.
A little bit. I agree with you. You know, it's going to come down. We need some key goaltending. Red River's going to be able to get up and down the ice. They're that good. You get some good goaltending. We've watched enough hockey. You get good goaltending. You're opportunistic. Penalties might come into play here. And, again, like we talked about, with their latest efforts, yeah, this should be a much better game.
Couldn't agree more. Folks, for now, we are going to turn things down to the PA announcer, but don't go anywhere. We got a great night of high school hockey action coming up in just a few minutes.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Don't go anywhere, folks. High school hockey action is next after a brief word from our sponsors.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Butler Machinery Company, Ed's Marine and Storage, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Kochman Brothers Homes, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Netrix IT, Northern Improvement Company, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons. Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Scheels. And TCI Insurance.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to North Dakota High School hockey action. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Mark Johnson here tonight as we're just seconds away from puck drop. Now, a little earlier, we talked about, gave a little preview of this game, said it's going to be a pretty close one, we think, here. And, Mark, your final predictions before this puck is dropped?
Well, I think if Shanley moves their feet, some good goaltending tonight, we should see a tighter game. Maybe if they can stay within a 4-2 game, Red River, I think South-Shanley would be pretty pleased. All
right. We'll keep that in mind as we start this one off, and right off the bat, Roughriders win that face-off deep into their own zone, and now they're looking to break it out as Jackson Kuntz, the UND commit, tries to work it out of his zone. Puck tied up in the neutral zone. Noah Johnson pokes it in for South-Shanley, but right back on it are the Roughriders. Moving forward now is Hagenson for Grand Forks Red River. Pass way up ice, and that one will be whistled for icing.
Yeah, looks like, as we thought, South-Shanley's going to play a little 1-2-2, trying to clog up that middle, don't give a lot of open ice for the speed of Red River to get up that ice, and really forced icing there.
Absolutely. It's going to be key against a team like Red River. They probably do have that speed advantage, a lot of high-end skill guys. You got to take that space away because when you give them a lot of open ice, they're going to make you pay for it. Puck chipped forward now by Schaefer. Doesn't quite make it out of the zone, and now an opportunity for the Bruins as Sandy drives in, but he's knocked off that one by Hagenson. Loose puck along the boards, played nicely forward by Schaefer, and now here come the Roughriders as Savage advances across the blue line. Savage, long-range shot, steered aside by Zach Sandy. Puck loose now in the corner. Savage on top of it, has a look, throws an awkward angle shot on net. Found its way to Sandy, then went back behind the net. Puck kept in here at the blue line, and the Roughriders continue to pressure. Savage doing it all himself, finally taken off that puck by Sandy. Loose once again, though, the Bruins can't seem to get it clear. Savage behind the South-Shanley net, back on top of it once again, throws one out to the blue line, able to find Forrest. Moving in there was Forrest, and now he'll back off and wrap it along the boards. Max Johnson with it, throws it on goal, steered aside by Sandy, and finally the Bruins get it clear.
Really doing a nice job. The Bruins are matching up down low. You'll see some 3-on-3 matchup.
Savage tried to catch the Bruins changing there. South-Shanley did a nice job getting back in position as that shot is blocked. Again, the Bruins look for a clear as Zazada will get it up ice. John Harvey tried to move it out of the neutral zone, but it is sent back in once again by Tweeten. Noah Lance behind his own net, throws one forward that's knocked right down that time by Fossey. Puck wrapped along the boards intended for Harvey. Again, it won't make it out. Andrade there to keep it in. Scrum on the near side. Harvey trying to poke it forward, able to get it past Tweeten. Tweeten now tied up with Harvey, and Andrade comes away with it for Red River. Andrade over to Johnson. He'll give this one now over to Tweeten. Tweeten going to throw it in. Sandy going to steer it forward, but that puck picked up by Johnson. Fires a quick one. Sandy there to make the save, and now here come the Bruins, but only temporarily as Harvey couldn't bring that one in. Opportunity now as Christian moves in, fires one on net that won't go. Seb Zazada there to pick it up for the Bruins. Now he'll hesitate behind his own goal, wraps it around, puck intended for Gores, doesn't make it to him, and the Roughriders continue to put the pressure on. On the near side, it's Christian. He throws one in that Zazada's there to knock it down. He brings it forward, gets it out of the zone. Roughriders, though, looking to put it right back in, and they will. Very fast pace of play here for Grand Forks Red River early on. Strinden tried to poke that one forward, but it was sent right back in by Arell. Setting up now behind net. Montgomery leaves that one for Sahlquist. Sahlquist moves one way, then goes the other, working against Strinden. Mason Sahlquist moving along the blue line, able to keep it in, then he'll flip it forward, intended for Kuntz. Kuntz chases after it. Zazada cuts him off. Kuntz now backhand gives over to Sahlquist, and Sahlquist will survey, fires a quick one, saved by Sandy. Excellent work with Montgomery screening. Sahlquist going to send this one back in, but a delayed icing will give the Bruins an opportunity to clear. Zazada sends it forward. Strinden tries to work it out of the zone. It's kept in, but then picked up by Johnson. Johnson's pass intended that time for Beaton, but it won't go. Roughriders right back in control. Moving it up ice now, it's Lunsky. Lunsky steers that one forward. That time looking for Thingvold. He can't connect with it, though. Puck sent forward by Dean. Dean didn't quite get the clear, though. Thingvold there to keep it in. Roughriders really making South-Shanley work for it. And finally, a whistle and a save by Sandy off the point shot from Lunsky. 13:05 left to go in the first. And Mark, how about this pace of play from Red River?
Yeah, you said it. They're making South-Shanley work for it. And the type of D South-Shanley's playing is that matchup. And it's going to take some energy and some effort. You can see that the Bruins are having trouble getting that puck out of their zone. That's going to be key here. If they can not panic with the puck, take their time, and get out of the zone.
We saw a little bit of this with South-Shanley when they were playing Davies last week. I don't think it was quite to the same extent, but early on, Davies really kind of dominated play. Things did eventually even out, though, for the Bruins. So, if you're a Bruins fan, I don't think you need to panic just yet. They have been a bit of a slow start team this year.
Agreed.
Riders continue to pressure here. They just seem to be winning the races to these pucks. I think you're really seeing an edge in speed there. South-Shanley will get a clear, though, off the shot from Jake Bryant. He gets it forward through the neutral zone. It's picked up by Thingvold. Thingvold wraps around. Greatzer pressuring. He's going to give this one off over to Hagensen. Hagensen now from a bad angle just fires one that's way wide of the net. That puck going to come all the way out of the zone, so Andrade will just dump it back in, and now Savage is going to chase it down, but not before Sandy sells it down behind his own net, and Carson Dean will throw it forward over to Harvey. John Harvey moving up the far side, tried to work around one man, wouldn't go. Rough Riders continue to pressure, but the Bruins set up. Seb Cesada from his own zone throws it forward, but it's going to go off the boards and deep into the Riders' zone. No, it won't be an icing, and so South-Shanley catching a break there, able to avoid the icing. Tweeting with it now for Red River. Nice pass on point, able to find a man on the far side. It's Forrest. Forrest moving in, fires one that's blocked partially by Hansen, and it's up into the netting.
Bruins may be a little fortunate they didn't have that icing call. Last thing they wanted was more action down their own end, although it is back there. Another little, as Red River enters that zone, watch the respect. The Bruins defensemen maybe gave them a little bit too much space there. They might want to close that gap. It's a fine edge, but keep an eye on that, how that plays out here as we move through a period.
Bruins win the defensive zone face-off as 11:38 left to go here in the first period. Seb Cesada gets that one up to Harvey. Now John Harvey moving in. Harvey just throws a backhander that goes right off the skate of Kobe Tweeten. Now that puck loose in the Rough Riders zone, going to be picked up and thrown across ice. Now with it is Andrade. Andrade moving up the near side, pressure on him, leaves it beautifully for Forrest. His shot steered aside. Andrade on the rebound, going to leave it again for Forrest. Forrest now in the near corner, tied up with Hansen. Andrade and Hansen go at it. Wyatt Hansen throwing the body around there. Puck still loose and now picked up by the Riders. Moving along with it now is Fossey. Fossey still in control. Looking to give that one over to Forrest. It was just out of reach for him. Wyatt Hansen now boxes him out and going to try to find someone to give it off to. No one home, though, for South-Shanley, so Riders continue to pressure. Johnson with a great move at the point. Pass, though, intended for Fossey, going to be broken up by Strinden and cleared. Grant Gores chases. Johnson, though, got to it first. Strinden tried to pick up the loose change, but again, couldn't get quite to it. Forrest now gives over to Fossey. Nice move, able to get around Bryant. Now Fossey fires one that's gloved by Sandy.
Well, Sandy looks, we haven't talked about goaltending yet. Of course, Red River's goalie hasn't been challenged, but Sandy looks to be sharp. And sometimes you weather that first 5 minutes of the storm, settle into a routine, and it starts looking like a beach ball for him. So hopefully that continues for him.
Absolutely, and I think it helps he has an, whoa, look at this. Coots with the beauty of a pass and the backhand goal. Just as we were complimenting the play of Zach Sandy, may have jinxed him a little bit as Montgomery buries the backhander. What a beauty of a move, though, from Kuntz.
Absolutely. It's tough to blame your goaltender there. That was just good hockey on Red River's point. That's face-off's important. They moved the puck real well, got the goalie commit, and finished.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You can't really blame Sandy there. I mean, he had to cover just so much of that net. There were two Riders right there with no Bruins in front of them, and that's just unfortunate. Not much you could do there. Jackson Kuntz, I mean, you see why he's a Division I hockey commit. That's just one heck of a move to pull off as a freshman nonetheless. So 1-0 early deficit here for the Bruins. Shots are 7-0 in favor of the Rough Riders. We talked about how a fast start would be necessary here for South-Shanley. Not quite the way they wanted to start things as Tanner Beaton throws one wide of the net. Beaton moving now behind the Rough Rider net. Got to it, but only briefly as he's thrown off that puck. Sahlquist, his pass will find its target. Kuntz with it again. Kuntz now circles back, looking for a man. Morehart on him. Morehart goes down, though. Kuntz loses control, throws a backhander. Easy save for Sandy. Kuntz, centering pass intended for Montgomery. Went through his legs, though, and John Harvey picks up the loose puck. Kuntz throws Harvey off that one. Harvey able to get back to it, though, as Kuntz lost control. Now Morehart going to chase down that pass behind his own net. Morehart pins Sahlquist to the boards. Lance moves in to help, able to get it up ice, but not out of the zone. Arell sends it right back in, and now Noah Lance gets to it, sends one off the boards to Harvey. Harvey had some space, but it quickly dissipated, and now he's pinned back in the Roughrider zone. Christian right on top of him. Harvey lost that one, able to get it off, though, over to Trainer, whose shot goes off the back of the net and is then brought out of the zone by Thingvold. Thingvold picks this one up, and now he'll move it up the near side. South-Shanley changing, so it's a 2-on-2. Thingvold's shot, though, blocked right off the leg of Seb Cesada. Near side with it, Noah Johnson. His pass intended for Noah Lance. Little off the money, but Lance able to get to it. Lance now moving it forward off the boards. That puck will go back behind the Rough Rider net. Strinden couldn't win the race to it. Wraps all the way along the boards over to Savage. He'll wait for his team to catch up, and now he'll hand that one off. Shot saved by Sandy. That time it was Lunsky moving in, and now Sandy goes down, and the net's off its moorings.
Little action in front there. No penalties. Again, Red River, we're going to have to find a way to make sure we neutralize their speed, their transition in the neutral zone, and find a way to get the puck out of South-Shanley's end efficiently, because the more time Red River spends in there, some of that skill is going to start to surface.
Exactly, and the more time they're in there, the more tired South-Shanley gets, and like you said, the more time the Riders have to demonstrate that skill. A little bit of an opportunity here as Jake Bryant moves it forward, but that opportunity immediately taken away by Andrade. Max Andrade with a nice defensive play. Now moving with it is Fossey. Fossey wrapping around, got past Cesada, but not enough room to get a clean shot off. It went high over Sandy's head. Andrade with the backhander, keeps it in the zone. Riders, though, not able to get possession, and now it's Wyatt Hansen with it. Hansen got that over to Beaton. Beaton flips it up in the air, intended for Bryant, but that one's too far ahead of him and sent in by Halverson. That one looked to be a bit of a hand pass thrown into the South-Shanley zone, and now it won't matter. We got an icing going against the Bruins.
Again, Jed, we're just we're kind of witnessing what happens when you're a little faster, beating South-Shanley to the puck. Compile that with some skill, and South-Shanley's got a little work to do here, but perhaps they can make a few adjustments. Red River perhaps punch themselves out, if it were, and then see if they can't be opportunistic.
Yeah, it is a one-goal deficit here, but for how much time the Riders have spent in the Bruins zone, you do have to give some credit here to South-Shanley. They've played a pretty solid game in their own end. Doing a good job not giving Red River too many good looks, especially when you consider the skill on this Grand Forks team. Now Robbie Greatzer had an opportunity, but that shot blocked partially that time by Kobe Tweeten. Tweeten able to get a stick on it, and that's not surprising. How about the reach on a guy like Kobe Tweeten, 6'7"? How do you defend against that?
Well, that's, Robbie Greatzer is a good-sized kid, and he looks a little small compared to that defenseman. So, yeah, Red River's got some decent size, some big size on their D-core, and there's some skill there, too. Perhaps if you can use your speed to get around them.
Great opportunity that time for the Rough Riders as Montgomery was streaking in all alone. The pass was too far in front of him, though, and will end up going for icing. I tell you what, if there's one thing I want to see here tonight, I want to see a slap shot from Kobe Tweeten, 6'7", 250. I'd like to see how much he can get behind that.
I don't know how much Sandy is going to want to see that, but...
Very true. 7:20 left to go here in the first period. Again, 1-0 lead here for Grand Forks Red River as Seb Cesada launches a nice slapper from the point. First shot on goal here for the Bruins.
Yeah, they need a little of that, some traffic in front, partially screen the goalie. That's a good recipe.
Absolutely, and Seb Cesada, bit of an offensive-minded defenseman, converted from forward. He was playing forward at this time last year, and that's definitely something the Bruin D-line needed. They needed a little bit more of that offensive mentality, and I think Cesada's done a nice job bringing that to the table. Hansen in the corner, pinned down by Montgomery. Sahlquist moves in to try to take it away, but the Bruins have numbers. Puck going to be thrown along the boards by Cesada, but nobody there for the Bruins, and now it's sent right back in by Tweeten. Behind the net, Montgomery, who will give it over to Sahlquist. Centering pass, Kuntz, and he got it in by the skin of his teeth. Just a little tip that finds its way in. Not quite as pretty as the last one, but still great work. Not a lot of space to work with. A nice pass and a nice little tip in.
Yeah, that is an example of high skill players right there. Not necessarily the prettiest prettiest play, but knowing where each other are on the ice. They've probably done that in practice hundreds of times, and then to convert. Again, really a nice play by Red River.
Absolutely. Like you said, just great chemistry between these guys. One of the top lines, if not the top line in the state here, Sahlquist, Montgomery, and Kuntz. That's just really an incredible three forwards right there. Great top line here for the Roughriders. So 2-0 now our score with 6:28 left to go in the first period as that puck is going to bounce into the benches. We'll get a stop in play.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if South-Shanley makes an adjustment to try and match up with that line, that Sahlquist line, and see if they can neutralize them a little bit before this gets out of hand.
Yeah, the Bruins have rolled a pretty good top line, all seniors, Greatzer, Harvey, and Trainer, and they've been a pretty good defensively minded line, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them matching up a lot with that Rough Rider top line. Puck dumped into the zone by the Bruins. Retrieved back there by Christian. He wraps along the boards, able to find Schaefer, who backhands it out of his zone, but it's sent right back in by Dean. The dump in from Dean, picked up by Christian. Nice little backhand feed over to Schaefer. Schaefer now sends it up ice. And now here come the Riders as that one is dumped in by Savage. Savage going to chase after it. Zazada got there first, but he loses control. Now with it that time. Only briefly was Dean, as now the Rough Riders look to pressure. However, it's going to come out of the zone as Greatzer will give it off over to Strinden. Strinden tries to poke it forward. Now Greatzer is going to bring it in for the Bruins. But I think we had an offsides there.
Yeah, real close there, but it was offside. Strinden didn't quite make it back out of the zone. Too bad. Greatzer had a steam. Look, and he was on his forehand. That could have been interesting, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, like you said, real close there. Thought they might have gotten onside, but Strinden just a hair late. Hansen looked to dump that one in, but it didn't quite make it all the way. That time, Lunsky was there to stop it. Now the Rough Riders look to move out of their zone. That puck kept in, though, by Harvey and Trainer. So Lunsky on top of it once again behind his own net, throws it along, able to find a man. It's Forrest. Forrest gets that one over to Fossey, who made an excellent play over to Andrade. Andrade now gets around Trainer. Another nice move with it, and a beautiful glove save by Sandy. Fossey had a great look in front of the net, and Sandy took it away.
Yeah, you watch this replay. You watch Sandy work at the top of the crease here, coming out. That's a confident goalie. He's in great position. Quick glove. Nice save.
And worth noting, I don't think we've said it yet, Zach Sandy, only a freshman, so I mean, his performance here becomes all the more impressive when you consider that age factor. Lance throws that one back behind his own net, trying to get it over to Gores. Instead, it's intercepted, but only briefly that time by Lunsky. Lance back on top of it with Andrade pressuring. Now Lance looking for someone to give it to, throws it off the glass. Strinden couldn't quite get there in time, so the Riders will continue to possess here in the Bruins zone. Finally, though, Strinden comes away with it. Now some numbers for the Bruins as Strinden moves in with Noah Johnson right there. Strinden stops, tried to get back on top of that puck, but he ended up hitting the ice, and so the Riders come away with it. Fossey hesitates, now throws it, able to find Hagenson. Hagenson now gets it up ice over to Forrest. Forrest moving in, fires it again. Sandy flashes the glove. Reels that one in.
Back to the play down in the offensive zone. I see a highlight here, Sandy's glove save. It's real important as this game goes on here for South-Shanley to, once they get that puck in the zone, keep that puck down deep, perhaps below the goal line, and see if you can't get something to happen on a cycle down there. Really vulnerable when that puck comes back up towards the top of their offensive zone.
Sahlquist with the quick win off the faceoff. Now opportunity here for the Rough Riders as that shot from Montgomery goes wide. Johnson able to keep it in, gets it over to Sahlquist, who goes over to Montgomery. He doubles back. That puck picked up now by Johnson. Tried to send one off the boards over to Montgomery, but Hansen got there first and will send it up ice. Tweeten bats it down, now throws it forward. Ooh, I thought that one was tipped, but they will say icing.
I think South-Shanley will be pleased with that icing. An opportunity to spend some time in the offensive zone. A little under 4 minutes here. If they can get one, for sure not give one up, Jed, they're in this hockey game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's 2-0. It's not where you want to be. But like I said, last time these two teams played, it was 8-1. And I think, a 2-goal deficit, as long as they can keep it that way, is just fine if you're the Bruins. Savage on top of that puck. Hesitates now behind the goal line. He'll bring it forward now. throws it over near side, able to find Thingvold, and so Thingvold advances. Puck gloved out of the air by Zazada, who chips it forward, out of the reach of Harvey, though, and now Johnson curls around with it. Max Johnson moving in, fires one, blocked by Zazada. Gonna make it out of the zone with a little help from John Harvey, but right back to it is Thingvold. Thingvold with the backhand over to Johnson, who chipped it over to Savage. Savage just gonna send it in. Thingvold will try to retrieve. Zazada gets there first, a little pushing and shoving behind the net. And now how about the hit from Savage on Robbie Greatzer? Size discrepancy, but it does not matter for Tyler Savage. That was 5'8", laying a big hit on 6'2" right there. Wyatt Hansen has the puck, backhands it around, able to get it over to Beaton, and now Beaton will chip it forward for Strinden. Strinden gets it around, one-man opportunity. Strinden over, and a goal from Sandy. How about it? Ben Strinden capitalizes off the error from the Roughriders in the neutral zone, and Drew Sandy buries it.
Boy, really a skilled play here by Strinden. Nifty pass. Well done and converted. Yeah, it all happened with the little neutral zone win here. That puck popped out, and Strinden was on that as he entered the zone. Really nice.
I tell you what, I have no idea how Strinden got that pass over to Sandy. It looked like the defenseman had his stick parallel to the ice, doing exactly what you have to do. I thought there was no lane there, but like you said, just a high-skilled play there for Strinden.
Well, and that's why he's, I believe, leading points for South-Shanley as a freshman.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the youth of this South-Shanley team. You got a pretty solid goalie starting right now who's a freshman. Your leading scorer now with his 17th point right there, also a freshman. South-Shanley now, the big key here, just hang on to this one-goal deficit. Just keep it 2-1 if you can. Obviously, maybe try and tie things up here, but if you could go into the period break down one, I mean, that'd be huge.
Absolutely.
Riders going to do everything in their power, though, to regain that 2-goal lead. South-Shanley doing a good job keeping them pinned. Bradbury tried to throw that one off the glass. Took a bad bounce for him, though, so the Bruins are going to have an opportunity here. Moving it forward there was Hagenson, and he's able to work it over to Andrade. Andrade throws it off the boards. Back behind the net now is Sandy to retrieve. And it's picked up by Hansen. Hansen over to Bryant. Bryant in a bit of trouble. Sahlquist streaking towards him. Handles it well and dumps it into the Red River zone. Riders, dare I say, on their heels a little bit right now. South-Shanley playing some of their best hockey all night. Kuntz now made an excellent move, but Zazada did a good job extending the body and taking him down. Got to be careful, though. Kuntz open in front of the net, but they won't need him as Montgomery absolutely snipes that one top shelf.
A little unfortunate for South-Shanley. It looked like they had possession of that puck. We were going to get it out of the zone, and it was turned over. And again, you saw the skill of Red River. They converted that quickly.
I mean, that was, like you said, very quick. Montgomery just buries it. And, I was talking about Jackson Kuntz because he was open there in front of the net. By the time Zazada got over to pick him up, it didn't matter. Montgomery just did it all himself. So 1:30 left to go. Red River up 3-1 as Trainer will dump that one in. Again, as long as the score stays at this mark, I think South-Shanley would be just fine with that. Although maybe they'll try to get another here as Greatzer throws one backhand. Harvey, and it's in! Just like that, the Bruins answer.
Well, some good hard work by Johnny Harvey down there, and he converts the goal off a nifty pass, just as you were talking about getting another tally. Greatzer with the little backhand flip, and Harvey with the rebound. Yeah,
that was a beauty of a pass, like you said. I thought Greatzer was just throwing the backhander on goal, just looking for an easy shot. But no, you caught it. I mean, he hooked up with Harvey there, and Harvey buried it backhand. Huge goal here for South-Shanley, and every time I talk about holding the score into the period break, one team seems to score. So maybe I'll just be quiet here for the last minute of the first. Thingvold has it now for the Roughriders. Scoring really opened up here for both teams. South-Shanley with 2 goals on 3 shots. How about that? Strinden had it for a second, lost it. Sandy got to it, but Thingvold able to keep it in for the Riders. Thingvold curling around, trying to get past Hansen, using that speed. He'll get it out to the point now to Christian. Christian puts one on net, redirected by Schaefer. Dangerous redirect that time as Moorhart gets tied up with Savage. Thingvold has it now, 30 seconds left to go here in the first. Lost possession, and now Hansen will pick it up and throw it over to Beaton. Off the stick of Beaton, taken by Christian, got it over to Schaefer, but now we got a whistle, and I think we got a penalty going against the Riders maybe.
We do initial signals a cross check behind the play. A little unfortunate on that breakout through neutral zone. That pass was a little hot to handle. Looked like South-Shanley perhaps had some momentum coming through the neutral zone. But yeah, what a game. What a first period, really, 2-3.
Absolutely. I don't think anyone really would have predicted that, especially, I mean, 2 goals on 3 shots for the Bruins. That's just a great number. I mean, it's only been 3 opportunities, but 3 very quality opportunities. So, and now they do get a penalty out of that play. And I'd say the power play has been really South-Shanley's, best. That's been the best part of this team all season. I think they played really well with the man advantage. It's kept them in a lot of games.
Exactly right. Lately, their special teams have been really pretty good.
Always good to get that power play. A little unfortunate to have it busted up. A lot of teams don't love to have the power play broken up by a period break. Kind of takes the momentum away, but they'll take it as Strinden wins another neutral zone battle. Greatzer with it, and time ran out before they could do anything with it. The Riders were getting back there, back checking, but still. How about the neutral zone battles, though? Ben Strinden hooked up with Sandy for that first goal off a gaff in the neutral zone by the Riders. Almost did it again here.
Yeah, we had scoring from a pair of freshmen and then a pair of seniors.
So, I mean, South-Shanley really shown quite the variety in the way they score. I mean, hey, all that matters is that you do it, and right now they're just down 3-2. An excellent first period here for the Bruins. Obviously, shots not where you want them, 12-3. You got to work on that. But as long as the scoreboard's reading, 3-2, you got to be happy.
I agree, Jed. You had the first 5 to 7 minutes where Red River really did dominate play in the South-Shanley zone. You could argue maybe the last 5 minutes it was really back and forth.
Yeah, I'd say.
And I think coming out of that first intermission here, South-Shanley should have some confidence in the fact that hey, not only have we scored a couple goals, we actually had some play. We took some play to. You said it. Red River was a little flat-footed there, and South-Shanley actually had the better of some of the action here the last 5 minutes of that period.
Absolutely. So a lot of things to build upon here for South-Shanley. Folks, it's 3-2. Don't go anywhere. We are going to have a great second period and a great finish to this game coming up in just a few minutes. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School hockey action. I'm Jed Thomas alongside of Mark Johnson as we get set for the second period of action here between the South-Shanley Bruins and the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders. But, folks, before we get back to it, we would like to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. So, folks, we're back to it now. Just about a minute away from starting the second period. It is 3-2, and let's take a look at how we got to this point. So the first goal of the evening came off a beauty of a play from Jackson Kuntz. UND commit made a great play, got it over to Montgomery for a goal. This made it 2-0 in favor of the Riders as Kuntz tipped one in. But this is where things started to turn around as Ben Strinden hooked up with Drew Sandy on a beauty of a play. Made it 2-1. Riders responded pretty quick off that snipe from Dane Montgomery. But then towards the end of the period, senior to senior, Robbie Greatzer to John Harvey. Beauty of a backhand pass, and that is how we got to this 3-2 score. Shots, though, 12-3 in favor of Grand Forks Red River. Mark, any adjustments here for these teams as we start this second period?
Well, I think, South-Shanley is first and foremost going to try and work on this power play they start the period with. But I think once they settled in that first period, they're going to stick to what they were doing, and that's that 1-2-2 trap, trying to slow down Red River coming out of their zone, match up D down low, and then try and be opportunistic with the puck in the offensive zone. They need to capitalize on that offensive zone time that they started creating that second part of the first period. If they do that, who knows? They'll be in this game till the end.
I mean, they've certainly done a great job capitalizing on that time. I mean, 2 goals on 3 shots. That is efficiency.
Exactly.
Great opportunity as Trainer put one on net. Not there for the rebound, though, was Greatzer. He went down. Some scuffling in front of the net. Wasn't in position there on the rebound. So now 41 seconds left to go here on this power play. Greatzer comes away with the puck, puts it out in front, steered aside, though. Heads up play that time from Lunsky. Near side, Bruins with the puck. Losing it, though, that time is Harvey, and then it's cleared way back down into the South-Shanley zone.
Be interesting now. The second line here in the power play is going to come out, see if they can generate some offense. Still plenty of time here. Have one last rush up the ice.
Again, South-Shanley's power play has been very good for them all year long. Really been the best part of their game. Boy, that's not what you want to see. Those beaten collided with Wyatt Hansen. Looked like he might salvage it, although he was caught offsides. Looked like Bryant got ahead of the play there.
Exactly. Not what they were looking for there. Finish off this power play and then see if they can't settle into some zone time.
Like I said in the first period, these broken up power plays are always really hard because right as you're settling into a groove, you get this big long period break, and then by the time you're back into it in the next period, that power play's already over. So Roughriders back at full strength as Savage comes out of the box. Hansen with the puck behind his own net now. He gets tied up with a man, and Zach Sandy has to cover. That was a little dangerous there.
Yeah, nice job by Sandy covering that. A little careless with the puck. Down low, that happens. Nice pressure by Red River there to turn over Hansen, but Sandy was on top of it.
Again, just a freshman showing a lot of poise there. Savage and Trainer will face off in this face-off. One by Trainer, now Moorhart has it, and he goes backhand looking for Dean. Dean not expecting it, though. Savage gets to it first. Savage wanted to go backhand, get it over to Johnson. He could not, though. Now Moorhart has it. He flips it back behind his own net. Moorhart moving forward with it. Tied up that time with Tweeten. Now an opportunity for the Riders, but broken up very nicely by Robbie Greatzer. Savage back to retrieve. Greatzer pressures. And Savage will just retreat and let his offense get set up. Savage moving back behind his own net. Here he goes now. Throws it forward off the boards, trying to get that one over to Fossey. Instead, it will be sent back in by Moorhart, and Tweeten will retrieve. The big man, Tweeten, with the backhand pass over to Johnson. Johnson up ice, got that to Savage. Off Savage's stick now and back behind the goal line. Moorhart gets to it. He throws it back behind the net, gets it past Fossey. Now on at that time was Bryant, but he couldn't do anything with it. Sandy now over to Beaton. Beaton moving in. He gets tied up that time. Good job by Andrade coming from behind to take it away. And now this puck coming right back towards the South-Shanley net. Andrade on top of it. He fires one that's wide. Hansen might have gotten a stick on it. Quick shot. Testing Sandy that time was Forrest. Sandy not fooled. Loose puck. Shot from the point. Hit a couple of guys. Never made it to Sandy. Loose. Almost put it in from the side of the net. But now we got a whistle as the net came off. That was a close one again for the Bruins.
It was you watch Sandy. He is athletic, getting from side to side in that crease. One of the things that coaches probably really like about his future. Very, very agile.
Yeah, great athlete overall. A great baseball player. Played football, real good football player, but quit that this year to play fall hockey. Real dedicated to hockey, and you can see why with the future he's got in front of him. Again, that freshman got a lot of great years of hockey ahead of him. Christian gives that one over to Andrade. He goes across the ice over to Forrest, who just has to poke it out of the reach of Johnson. Puck missed that time by Arell, and now it's going to be picked up by Strinden. Strinden curls around, looking great feet in front, but Johnson couldn't get a stick on it. Zazada there to keep it in play. Now Gores chases after it, tried to poke it forward. That went off the back of the Rough Rider net, and now it's going to be picked up by the Riders. With it in his own zone is Forrest. His pass cut by Strinden. Strinden had it for a minute, but didn't quite react soon enough. Had it poked off his stick. Bruins able to maintain possession, though. Puck back behind the Rider net. On top of it right now is Christian. He goes with a pass off the glass over to Arell. That puck going to be sent forward now by Forrest. Hansen has it for the Bruins. Hansen off the boards, intercepted by Forrest. Working his way around Trainer. Forrest in alone, and that shot's wide. Blocked that time by Hansen. Feed in front, looking for Andrade. It's intercepted by Trainer. Trainer now puts it behind his own net, trying to get it over to Harvey. Harvey pressured. On top of him that time is Hagensen. Harvey gets it over to Morehart. Morehart now flips it backhand over to Hansen. 12:25 left to go here in the second period, as that one's just dumped right back in by Lunsky. Kuntz with it now. Moving in, Jackson Kuntz lost it. Out in front, Lunsky fires one, going to be blocked by Hansen. Will stay in the South-Shanley zone, picked up by Morehart, whiffed on it. Trainer able to get to it, and now he dumps it back down into the Red River zone, and that'll be an icing call against the Bruins with 12:03 left in the second.
You see a little bit of South-Shanley struggling to get the puck out of the zone again, and it's little things. It's making that pass. Perhaps even waiting just a split second for your winger to open up versus throwing that puck up the boards. If they can get this puck out of their zone, look for them to have some success, but they've got to do a better job with a little bit of a breakout out of their zone.
Well, the Riders help them out that time as D-to-D pass ends up going out of the zone, but Grand Forks Red River coming right back in this time as Hagensen puts it in. Puck going to be picked up by Dean. He flipped it backhand, and that one's up into the netting.
It's so important for those defensemen to get control of that puck and make a good read. And too often, and it's real easy in this game to throw that puck. Sometimes your best play might be create some space. If you have some time, create some space. That'll open up a lane to pass to a winger.
Savage and Sandy on that faceoff, won by Savage. Johnson has it now for Red River, and here comes Max Johnson. He's a defenseman, but he loves to get in on the offensive action, as that shot is blocked before it ever made it to Sandy. High up into the air, batted down by Drew Sandy. On top of it that time was Fossey, facing off against Morehart. Fossey gets back to it, throws it out in front, able to get it that time over to Thingvold, but Thingvold knocked off of it. Lance trying to get it out, and he will. Noah Lance able to feed Sandy that time, or excuse me, it's Bryant rather. Bryant now working against Tweeten in the corner. Tweeten gets it up over to Fossey. Now Savage has it, and here comes Tyler Savage. Savage moving forward. Puck goes out of the reach of Lance. Sandy will try to clear it himself, but it's knocked down by Johnson at the blue line. Johnson over to Thingvold. Thingvold throws down front over to Savage, who got it to Fossey, but he couldn't get a clean shot off on it. Some numbers now for South-Shanley. Beaton tried to chip it forward, but it was knocked back in his face by Johnson. Beaton throws that one off the boards, trying to get it over to Morehart. Morehart pinned down by Fossey. Beaton going to have to pick up his own pass as Thingvold pressures. Beaton slips out of there, and now with it is Johnson. Noah Johnson moving forward, leaves it behind for Strinden. Strinden tried to do a little behind-the-back maneuver there that didn't quite work for him. Wrapped along the boards now and picked up by Hagen as Hagen flips it forward and finds Savage. Savage loses control, but only temporarily as he gives that one off over to Arell. Hagen tips that one, so it won't be an icing, and now it wraps back around behind the South-Shanley net, picked up by Zazada. Scrum for the puck on the far side. Noah Johnson trying to work it out of the zone. Strinden has it now. He flips it way up in the air. Gores is going to give chase, but Arell will win that race. Arell behind his own net. Over to Andrade. Andrade lost it. Gets back on top of it. Now looking. He throws that one across over to Christian. Hooks up with a man on the near side. It's Arell. Arell fires one that's blocked by Hansen. Another shot from Andrade. This one makes it through. Not on net. Feed out in front. Zazada getting the stick in there. Gores tries to get it away. He can't. Bit of a mess chasing after this puck right now. It's off the glass and picked up by Gores. Schaefer didn't know where that one was. It was right behind him. Gore's able to get there, though. Andrade tips this one forward, and now Wyatt Hansen will chase it down in his own zone. Hansen plays it off the boards, going to make it out of the zone, and now it's picked up by Greatzer. Robbie Greatzer moving in. Has that puck knocked off his stick. Tried to get back to it, but it pops out of the zone. Greatzer now just has to throw it in. Bradbury behind his own net, left it that time. Able to find Lunsky, and now Kuntz has it, and he'll give off over to Andrade. Max Andrade flips it forward, able to get it past Morehart. Sahlquist chases it down. Mason Sahlquist had that one taken away by Morehart. Now a feed to Sahlquist, who just snuck it in there. Sandy almost made it over. Sahlquist had a ton of net to shoot at, and it ultimately goes off the pad of Sandy.
Really a fantastic pass here to see that ice and converts. Didn't get all that puck, but it was enough. When you make that pass cross ice like that, it really puts a goal in a difficult position to see where that puck's going to end up and get over there and cover that.
And you got to credit Sandy there. I mean, he got over there, I think, a lot faster than anyone was expecting. Like you said, though, Sahlquist didn't quite get all that puck. So Sandy was able to get a pad on it, but just not enough. So 4-2 now, the score still certainly manageable here for the Bruins, although you would like to see a little more offense for them. Haven't seen a ton since that power play. Riders, meanwhile, are right back and pressuring. Mason Sahlquist on the puck. Doubles back, trying to leave that one off over to Kuntz. Stays with it, now gives it to Kuntz. Kuntz on the near side, feeds over to Sahlquist, and Sahlquist nicely boxed out that time by Morehart.
Again, the Bruins trying to match up, and as this game goes along and they get a little fatigue, it's going to be tougher and tougher to match that skill and speed of Red River. But it's going to be important for them if they're going to commit to this matchup, kind of a 3-on-3 down. Any player down low, below the dots, they're going to match up with them, and it'll become important. They need to get out of their defensive zone. It feels a lot different playing offense than it does working on defense.
Absolutely. Like you said, that man-to-man, it works, but when you start to get fatigued, that's when the other team can really exploit it. A shot with a ton of traffic in front of him. Sandy's able to save it. Johnson tried the point shot that time, and Sandy able to track that one down through a field of guys.
Again, you'd like to see these defensemen handle the puck, not panic. I think Zazada did a nice job earlier reversing his direction. It opened up some ice. He was able to make that pass to the wing. So that'll be key if the Bruins are going to change momentum here. They got to get out of their zone.
Nice defensive face-off win for Ben Strinden, and now he's got it in the Roughriders zone. Just fires one on net. That doesn't connect. Beaton was going in there trying to clean up the rebound, but the Riders get there first. Thingvold moving up the near side with a head of steam. Centering pass, that one a little bit behind Fossey, and now here come the Bruins. They've got some numbers. Strinden moving in, trying to leave that one for Sandy, but it went off the skate that time of Thingvold. Fossey has it now in the Rider zone. Up off the boards, able to find Savage. Savage moving in alone, but here comes Fossey to give him some help. Savage still with this puck, curling around, waiting for the rest of the team to catch up. Excellent work by Zazada, able to get that one out of his zone. Trainer on top of it now on the near side. He'll throw it along the boards. It's tracked down by Bradbury behind his own net. Bradbury had Harvey moving towards him. Does a nice job getting it over to Hagen. Hagen took a hit that time from Greatzer, but he actually ended up giving it right back to Greatzer. Now Savage with a great move, but he couldn't get a clean shot off on it. Loose puck in the South-Shanley zone, kept in that time by Johnson, but the Bruins are able to clear as Harvey advances it. Harvey off the boards. Bradbury back behind his own net, going to wrap it around. Hagen Couldn't get there. It was Trainer who beat him to it. Now Ben Trainer back behind the Rough Rider net. Shot out in front. Greatzer couldn't get a clean look at it. Pass was a little too far away from him, or actually it ended up going behind him, and he couldn't get the stick over there in time. Schaefer moving in with it, broken up by Bryant. On the near side, Andrade tied up, and Bryant went down. That should be a penalty against the Rough Riders.
Looks like an interference call, Jed.
See if we can get a look on the replay here. And yeah, that's the right call. I mean, he was not touching that puck, and he took a hit there from behind.
You know, some nice work for that chance down low. You know, started with Trainer just doing a little work along the boards, and that line of those three seniors had really good look there if they could have converted.
Absolutely, they've had a couple good looks here. Just a lot of good chemistry for that line, and you know, it's what you'd expect with all seniors. So Schaefer going to pick up the interference penalty here as Trainer is kicked out of the circle, so Beaton will move in to take his place. Beaton going to win this faceoff back to Strinden. You'll see Strinden playing defense along with Sandy. It's 5 forwards out there for the Bruins. That's how they like to do it. Right off the bat here, clear for Red River. Watch out, Montgomery wins that race. Sandy does a nice job playing that puck. Tried to play it over to his brother, but it was out of his reach. Again, Sandy going to play this puck.
Red River real aggressive on this penalty kill, both as we see in our own defensive zone, but they were up pressuring the point. South-Shanley's going to have to react to that and probably change what they're trying to do with the puck.
And you know, it sounds a little weird, but sometimes when you're down a man and it clears the ice up like that, it can almost play to your advantage when you've got the kind of speed Red River has, because it really lets your guys open up the ice, and the other team is not, you know, thinking with a very defensive mindset. So it's a little bit of a trap here for the Bruins. They can't get too comfortable. A team this fast can be pretty deadly on the penalty kill.
Yeah, we'll see if this makes a difference now with this change on the whistle. Perhaps Red River's next team here isn't quite as aggressive on their penalty kill.
So a minute 07 left to go on this power play. 5:30 remains in the second period. Been a pretty quick second, not a lot of stops in play.
Unfortunately for the Bruins, most of that action's been down in their zone. But again, penalties, they get one here. Things tighten up, obviously, again, towards the latter part of this period.
Kuntz with that puck in the South-Shanley zone. Jackson Kuntz able to hang on to it, gets it over to Fossey. A heck of a move. That shot too high, though, over Sandy. Wow, Fossey created a ton of space there off the feed from Kuntz. Strinden now moving it in, trying to respond. Trainer able to get to the loose puck. A little backhand poke over to Strinden. Strinden now tied up along the boards with Lunsky. Hagenson throws that one along the boards. Sandy able to keep it in, though. They won't get the clear. Sandy now wraps it around over to Beaton. Beaton with the backhand feed over to Trainer, trying to find a defenseman to give it to. Zazada gets there. Now Seb Zazada going all the way across over to Sandy. Sandy looking, goes back to Zazada. He'll go down low over to Trainer. Trainer now in the near corner, leaves it for Strinden. Strinden now playing forward, not in that defensive role on this power play. He'll go with the backhand over to Beaton. Beaton trying to get it up to Sandy, but he's being pressured from behind by Hagenson. Now Fossey trying to get the clear. South-Shanley was setting up, but the Riders get to it. Now look at this. They've got some numbers. Schaefer moving in with Kuntz. Kuntz gets it, makes a move, and scores! Jackson Kuntz. Just not much more you can say there. That is just opportune timing and a lot of raw talent.
Yeah, a little bit of bad luck, the timing of that player coming out of the box, but then they finish. That's talent. That's a nice play.
Yeah, exactly. It's good timing, but it's talent that finishes it. And Kuntz, you know, he was in pretty much all alone, but he was moving the wrong way. Sandy had already made it over to his side of the net. Kuntz did not have a lot of space to work with. That ability to change direction and get back over to the left side of the net with very little space left there, that is really impressive the way Kuntz did that.
Yeah, and that's a big goal. South-Shanley looking to close that gap, and then it turns on them. That will be tough to overcome, and really it was made possible. Red River did a nice job on that penalty kill. Stayed disciplined in their box, and then when they saw an opportunity, they did pressure, and that turned that puck over about as the time expired on that penalty.
Absolutely. I'd have to agree with you there. It is a big goal. I just think a 2-goal deficit compared to a 3-goal deficit, I think 3 goals just feels like a lot more when you're playing from behind. Morehart moving that one forward. Savage tipped it, and it'll stay in the South-Shanley zone. 3:30 left to go here in the second period. Harvey couldn't get to that one, thrown off it by Hagen. Andrade gets around, fires one, and that goes wide of Sandy. Johnson at the point. Tried to get that one over to Savage. Hagen traps it down, centering feed intended for Savage won't go, and now Greatzer chips it off the boards. Greatzer was able to get the clear. It won't be an icing. And now both teams go out for a change, but South-Shanley cut out position. Savage moving in, and that shot saved nicely by Sandy. Got the glove up there. Johnson cutting in, leaves it over for Thingvold. Thingvold wraps it around the board. Savage going to try to chase it down. Morehart gets there first, but he can't get the clear. And now an excellent pass, a hard pass though, from Tweeten, finds its way over to Thingvold, who wraps around the boards. And now Johnson tries to chip it forward as Fosse will center. And again, Riders just trying to center this puck, but they are being very aggressive with the passes here, a little too hard. Johnson throws one out in front. I don't know how that didn't go in. Sandy with an excellent save. I mean, he's let in 5 here, but boy, he's really played well. Those numbers are really deceiving, I think.
Yeah, that was a fantastic athletic save to read that play and get that pad down. Fantastic.
I think Thingvold was even stunned there that he didn't put that one in. I mean, I don't know how the Bruins left him all alone there. I mean, he was literally standing in front of the net, so a lot of credit there to Zach Sandy making the save in a tough situation. Sahlquist fakes the slapper, tries to cut it inside. Hansen not fooled, stands tall on D. Montgomery on the near side, tied up, and now the Bruins do get it out of their zone as Drew Sandy moves it up the near boards and throws it in. Bradbury behind his own net, wraps it around the boards, tried to get it over to Kuntz. It's sent right back in though by Zazada, delayed offsides. Christian got it forward, Sahlquist pressuring. And the Riders again trying to set up in the South-Shanley zone. Montgomery tried to chip it back to Sahlquist, and Sandy will glove that one down.
Really impressive, Red River. They have turned it up this period. They've kept that momentum. Once they killed off that first penalty kill, or that power play that South-Shanley had, and I sense the last 5 minutes they've actually turned up the intensity a little bit.
Absolutely, really trying to take control of this one, trying to bury South-Shanley. Bruins trying to stay alive here. At this point, I think they're just trying to get into the locker room down 3. Not what you want, but they're just not trying to let it get any bigger. Montgomery on the near side, pokes it along. Kuntz gets to it behind the South-Shanley net. Jackson Kuntz now on the near side, looking, circles around. Feed, too many Bruins there, trying to find Montgomery that time, but now Robbie Greatzer has it for the Bruins and he'll dump in. Arell chasing after it, lost it. Greatzer got there, but then fell forward, got the puck caught up in the skates of Arell. Montgomery has it now, moving up the near side. Dane Montgomery working his way in, and he fires an awkward angle shot. That was a tough save there for Sandy, but he was able to keep it out. Didn't quite get the, I think he wanted to cover up there. The rebound came out, but it ended up being okay for him. Puck sent forward, intended for Schaefer. Trainer intercepts, trying to give it over to Gores, just not enough space there. Lunsky was in there to get the stick. Moving it forward now, Hagenson. He gives over to Andrade. Andrade on the near side, working against Dean. Feet in front. I don't know if it ever actually made it to Sandy, but now Hagen has it. He throws a backhander on, and we got a whistle.
Yeah, the bang bang looked like he got a piece of that with his
yeah, I think
glove
you're
or
right.
shoulder. Just real athletic.
Not enough time there really for a shot, so the Riders just try to get a stick on it and get the redirect, and they did. Like you said, though, Sandy did catch a piece of it. So 16 seconds left to go here in the second period. Again, 5-2 in favor of Red River. Shots are currently 27-6 for Grand Forks Red River. Just 6 seconds left here. Bruins trying to avoid letting in one as the Riders try to set up. Andrade wheeling around, knocked off that puck nicely by Stringden, and that will do it for the second period. So Red River able to put 2 more on the board, make it 5-2, and that is going to be a tough one to come back from if you're South-Shanley down 3 now.
Yeah, I'd be a little concerned. South-Shanley didn't have a lot of offensive zone time.
No.
And we talked about it earlier. When you're using that much energy in your own defensive zone, that wears on you, probably physically and mentally. So they're going to have to find a way, again, get the puck out of their zone. And, it's simple. Win the battle of the blue lines, really, get the puck out of your zone, get the puck into the neutral zone. Once it's there, get that puck deep into the offensive zone. And even if it means, a chip and chase, it might be what they need to do. It might not be pretty goals, but they're going to have to do something to just change the momentum.
Absolutely. Got to change things up here in the third period. Worth noting, 3 shots on goal in the first period for the Bruins and 3 more here in the second. So as a grand total of 6. So like you said, just need to get more offense going here. Got to make some adjustments in that department. It's 5-2 in favor of Red River. They expanded their lead in this period, but it is still anyone's game. So don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to have a fun third period of play coming up for you in just a couple of minutes. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to North Dakota High School Boys Hockey Action. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Mark Johnson as we're getting set for the third and final period of play here between the South-Shanley Bruins and the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders. But, folks, before we get to this final period of play, we want to remind you one more time that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. And so, folks, we're just seconds away from dropping the puck here, and we would like to remind you one more thing. This Saturday, January the 20th, don't forget, we will be doing the Scheels Shootout on Shanley TV. That's games at noon and 2:30. At noon, we're going to have the Davies North game, and then at 2:30, it will be South-Shanley versus Cheyenne. Be sure to check that out. You can find that on Shanley TV. You can also find that on WDAY.com and the Justice Network on Statewide TV, direct affiliate of WDAY. So be sure to check that out. That'll be a lot of fun. But we are back to the action at hand as the Bruins and the Roughriders get ready to battle it out for one more period of play here. It's been mostly Grand Forks Red River in this game, up 5-2, shots 28-6 in favor of the Riders. It was 3-2 after the first period, but Grand Forks Red River, Mark, they just really kind of opened things up in the second period.
They did. They took, they had a lot of offensive zone time. We talked about that. The Bruins had a tough time clearing the zone, led to a lot of opportunities. And actually, to give up what the Bruins did that period, actually maybe quite fortunate. So Bruins need to take advantage of some opportunities that they get, and how do they create those advantages? Probably take a little better care of the puck coming out of their zone. Might have to take some chances in the neutral zone and see if they can't get an opportunity or two, because when they've had shots, Jed, they converted two scores on just 6 shots.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a pretty great rate of efficiency there if you're South-Shanley. So, again, you just need to get a few more of those shots. It hasn't been about quality. They've been quality looks. It's just been about quantity. So, 15:40 left to go here as we have just started this third period of action. South-Shanley now with a look. They've got numbers moving in. Beaton and Bryant. Beaton going to keep it himself, and he fires one right into the chest of Bradbury, but I'd say the right call. I don't think there was a lane there to find Bryant with the pass.
No, Red River did a nice job at taking away that pass. Beaton did a real good job of getting this on net. Sometimes you make that shot a little lower. Perhaps it comes off a pad and there's a rebound there. But you know what? Just as we spoke of, they just need some shots.
Absolutely. Off the face-off, Jake Bryant's going to come away with it. He's tied up, though, in the corner, trying to get it over to Sandy. Sandy feeds in front to Beaton. Beaton with a quick shot. But an excellent job there by Bradbury. Just great positioning that time.
Did a nice job finding Beaton. Sandy just with his back to Beaton took a quick peek before he got to that puck, and a nice little pass for an opportunity.
So make that 8 shots on goal now for the Bruins, and a face-off win as Beaton will come away with this puck, trying to leave it for Sandy, but now it's going to come out of the zone and be brought forward by Fossey. Fossey throws it in, Morehart chasing after it, but Fossey gets around him and now gives over to Andrade. Andrade behind the net, dumps it off, looking for a man. No one there, though, and Beaton will get to it. Tanner Beaton now moving, throws it off the boards, going to wrap around, be tracked down by Morehart, but on top of him that time was Thingvold. Puck picked up by Fossey. He's going to wrap around, tries the wrap around, it won't go, and the rebound comes all the way out to Bryant, who, trying to get it over to Beaton, had it broken up by Johnson. This puck going to go off the stick of Zach Sandy. Couldn't settle it down. It wrapped all the way behind the net. Now it's tied up on the far side. Got a whole host of Bruins and Roughriders in there, but ultimately it's South-Shanley who comes away with it, as Jake Bryant will just throw that one down, and he's got to get off. He's been out there for a while. Strinden with a good effort to keep that one in. Almost got some space there. Able to keep it in the zone is the big thing, though, as that centering feed is broken up by Christian. Fossey has it now for the Roughriders. He leaves it over for Arell. Arell wraps it around the boards, and now it's picked up on the far side by Thingvold, but only briefly, as Johnson will get there. He had it for a second, but Savage got there first. And now we have a whistle, and
I think we're offside, Jed. Red River's offside. Some really nice work back check by Noah Johnson. Really good hustle to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, that is the call. Offsides just a little bit there that time was Savage.
I like that combination, Strinden-Johnson. Johnson seems to have that speed to keep up with Strinden. They can create some open ice.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's taken South-Shanley a little while to find the right line combinations here, but that Strinden-Johnson pairing has really worked well for them. They've just had a little trouble now finding another winger for that line. You see Grant Gores, they're trying him out there. Younger guy, smaller guy, but he's got some pretty high-end speed and skill. Again, like you said, I think they're just looking for someone who can keep up with a guy like Strinden. Riders with possession, but Wyatt Hansen gets to that loose puck. Does a good job keeping it out of trouble as now Grant Gores backhands that one up ice. Harvey was able to get that one off the stick of Arell, but was not aware of the position, couldn't get to it. And now Andrade's driving in, makes a nice move around Hansen. Caught behind the South-Shanley net. That puck picked up briefly by Forrest. Now shot on goal, saved by Sandy. Sahlquist tracks it down. Moving in now, Mason Sahlquist centering pass. Forrest could not get a stick on it. Now an opportunity for the Bruins. Greatzer couldn't get around, but he was able to leave that puck over for Harvey, who just dumps it in.
Nice play by Sahlquist. He draws two players, and that's going to leave somebody open. Back door.
Well, guys, always watching Sahlquist. You know, teams well aware of him. One of the top, if not the top scorer in the state right now. He's trailing he's in third right now in state scoring, but I mean, just a heck of an offensive player. It commands a lot of attention, like you said, and that creates space for his line mates. 12:25 remaining in the third period as that shot's off target, but Lunsky tracks it down, puts one on net. Rebound opportunity was there, but he couldn't get a clean shot off on it. Sahlquist fires one, redirected out in front, loose. Somehow didn't go in. That one, though, just barely skirts by the net.
Sandy with great reaction, just caught a piece of this, and Morehart does a nice job of taking the body. Fortunately for the Bruins, the net came off before we got to see what was going to happen there. But again, Sandy with a nice save.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, Sandy's reaction time has been excellent. He's making a lot of really good initial saves, but he's still having a problem that's plagued him for a lot of the season. He's left a lot of pretty big rebounds out there, and you saw Red River had a couple chances on some big rebounds there that they didn't put in the net. But that's one thing Sandy's got to work on, that rebound control. And, you know, it's something that will come with time. It's just, for now, been an issue for him. Low shot from Montgomery, steered aside by Sandy. Another one from the point that time came from Hagenson. Wouldn't go, and now it works its way out of the Bruins zone. Bryant going to chase after it. Bradbury has to play it out from his net. Hagenson has it now, gets it over to Montgomery. Montgomery moving in, Strinden on him. Trying to leave that one off. Strinden got to it first, though. Montgomery puts it in. Montgomery put it in the zone there, and now he gets to it as it was played off the boards by the Bruins. With it in the corner is Sahlquist now. Sahlquist looking for a man. Sahlquist curling in, fires one, cross ice to Hagenson. Couldn't get a clean shot off, though. Centering feed for Kuntz won't go. Now we have a whistle. I'm not sure if I think they might have thought Sandy covered up there.
Exactly. The referee lost sight of the puck, and he made that whistle. Again, covered that low shot. Sandy got down quickly. You know, Red River really imposing their will here on the third, similar to what they did in the second. Kind of that same recipe. See if the Bruins can change the tide here a little bit.
Bruins right now bending but not breaking. You know, they've done a good job. Like you said, Riders really taking it to them right now. But I would say South-Shanley has had a bit more offense in this period than some of the others. So that is one positive coming out of this third period.
You know, it comes down to winning some battles for the puck. Nice save.
And now with it at the top was Tweeten. His shot, though, not going anywhere. I think that might have been a pass as Morehart's clearing attempt is blocked by Fossey. Strinden, great move, tried to put it between the legs, still worked for him, and now he fires one. Boy, Ben Strinden has got some hands. I mean, he can really do a lot of things with the puck out there.
Yeah, even moving that puck from stick to skate to stick.
As now another good opportunity for Red River comes about. Not quite able to get a clean shot off, though. Good work by the South-Shanley D getting in position. Savage trying to pick up that puck. Strinden in there fighting for it. Johnson comes away with it now, and Max Johnson will curl around at the blue line. Max Johnson fires one from the point. Won't go. Rebound opportunity. That doesn't work either as Fossey was stymied. And now that one's going to go way back into the Rider zone.
He's one of those rebounds you were talking about, Jed, and that's where your wingers that are coming down that aren't tied up, like your defensemen, need to be right there to push that puck to the corner or take possession of it.
And now here's an opportunity for South-Shanley. Bradbury is without a stick, so the Bruins got to try to put some pressure on here. This is a huge opportunity for him. Very hard to play goaltender without a stick. Very uncomfortable, I should say. Riders fortunate to get that puck out of the zone, as now Bradbury's going to race into the corner to pick up his stick. Hagen bringing the puck forward here for Grand Forks, and Bradbury has got that stick once again. Andrade with it in the corner, Trainer pressuring, trying not to get a penalty called. There you see he puts the hands up. I'm not doing anything. Now that one thrown off the glass. Came out of the zone, so you see the delayed offsides there. Was waiting for that. Now the pass finds its way over to Greatzer, up into the air. Harvey trying to knock it down. He's tied up with Andrade. Poked forward now by Schaefer, and that one bounces into the bench.
Yeah, you talk about not taking a penalty. Probably jinxed the situation here, but the Bruins have done a nice job staying out of the box. That's probably one of the last things you want to do is take a penalty against Red River with as much speed and skill as they have. So, one bright spot, Bruins have played hard and stayed out of the box.
Yeah, that's very true. Like you said, you really don't want to give Red River an opportunity with the kind of talent they have. I mean, we've seen how good they look with, short a man. I can't imagine, being up with the man advantage. So, yeah, like you said, South-Shanley playing a very clean game right now. And really the game as a whole has been pretty good. Only 2 penalties so far for Red River. Zazada with the puck, trying to get it out of the zone. He got tied up, though, with Andrade. Now able to work it forward to Bryant, but he lost control.
Got delayed penalty here, Jed.
This could be big, as now Bradbury touches up.
I think we got a high stick.
And yes, that does appear to be the signal. So a high stick going against Red River. Well, we didn't jinx South-Shanley there. You see it. In fact, it's Red River who gets the penalty. And so with 8:24 left, the Bruins do go on the man advantage. So far, we've talked a lot about how impressive their power play has been all year. We really have not seen what we're used to from South-Shanley with the man advantage tonight.
Well, we got Sandy, Strinden at the point. See if they can't cycle that puck up high and give them some open ice, see if they can do something with it.
They're always trying to work that puck over to Strinden. Both Sandy and Strinden are up there, but at the end of the day, they really want to get it to Ben Strinden. He's got a great shot from the point, and they try to take advantage of that. Greatzer moving in with this one, able to get around one man, but he loses control, and now Montgomery's going to wrap it around the boards over to Harvey. Harvey tried to keep it in, but it bounces out off his skate, and so Sandy has to retrieve. Sandy moving it in himself now. Drew Sandy cuts it in, chips it over to Greatzer. Greatzer can't get control. Harvey working against Montgomery to try and keep it in. Couldn't win that battle though, and now here comes Sahlquist and Montgomery. Sahlquist able to get around Strinden, still with it. Ended up leaving it behind the net. I think he might have caught the puck there in the netting, and now we got a whistle.
Looks like a holding call on Harvey.
And that's a tough break for the Bruins. They still had a minute left on that power play, and so now we're going to get a minute of 4-on-4, and even worse for South-Shanley, another minute of the man advantage for Red River.
Something small there, but Strinden did a nice job on Sahlquist, having to play in the defensive role as Sahlquist entered that zone. Shows the talent of Strinden there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be honest, I was kind of waiting for Strinden to, move around him as he's done to so many guys. But like you said, we're really seeing that high-end skill from Ben Strinden. I think we're looking at a guy who's going to be a pretty big name in North Dakota high school hockey over the next few years. So 4-on-4, and you got to imagine this favors Grand Forks Red River with the kind of speed they have. That's just going to be really good for them. Only 4 Bruins out there, a lot of open ice. We'll see what they can do with it. Puck comes over to Bryant, working with Beaton there. They actually got tied up with each other, and Bryant goes down as he had to stop up there to try and not get the puck knocked off his stick by Beaton's skates. Wyatt Hansen now with it behind his own net, works it over to Beaton. Beaton cuts, now moving forward with it. Johnson able to keep it in the Bruin zone. Now here comes Max Johnson. Numbers here for Red River as Johnson curls around the net, fires one, ended up hitting Savage, his own man. Savage trying to get to it, he can't, and so Zazada will throw it back behind his own net, and it's picked up by Fossey. Here comes Andrade out of the box. Now we got 50 seconds of a power play here for Grand Forks Red River as Brian is able to get this one out of the zone, but just for a few seconds. In comes Johnson. Heck of a move. Now skating in with it, and Sandy able to stop him. Johnson made a great move to get in, but then he just didn't really have anything once he got in there in front of Sandy. Andrade had it poked off his stick though by Noah Johnson. Savage with it now. Little backhand give over to Fossey. Fossey gets it over to Hagenson. Hagenson, nice job staying on side there. Andrade has it on the near boards. Hands it off over to Savage. Savage moving around, leaves it for Johnson. Max Johnson into the corner to Andrade. Andrade cuts, working his way around Lance. A little backhand pass over to Savage out in front. Shot wouldn't go for Fossey, and now Harvey back out on the ice. We're back to 5-on-5 with 5:24 left to go here in the third period. Savage with Strinden on him. Strinden, nice job staying with him, and Savage loses this one out of the zone. Strinden trying to take advantage of it here. He gets taken down. Strinden and Savage got tied up. Both went down to the ice, and now cutting with it that time was Andrade, but Bryant and Lance were there to take it away from him, as that puck is going to be iced by South-Shanley.
Well, you saw a little bit of that Red River power play, and that's a pretty high-end unit. Bruins did a pretty nice job being disciplined, not chasing, not getting pulled out too far up high in the zone, and match up where they could, and they did a nice job there.
So 5:02 left to go here, as Christian collected that puck at the blue line and just dumps it in. Puck now loose in the far corner. Beaton trying to work it out of the zone. Got it over to Sandy, who now left it over for Bryant, just a hair in front of him, or else Bryant would have had a bit of a look. Would have been 1-on-2, but still. 4:41 remaining here in the third. As now the Riders try to work this one back into the zone, but Bruins standing tall. Delayed offsides there as Moorhart brings it out of the zone, flips one down ice. Bradbury makes a save and then leaves it for a man. That time he had Arell, who gives it off now over, able to find Adair. Back behind his own net there was Arell once again. And now John Harvey on top of the puck here for South-Shanley. Starting to see a couple new names here for Red River, now cycling in. Maybe some guys who spent most of the game on the bench, as there was a great look out in front for Harvey. Just couldn't collect that puck in time to take advantage. And Greatzer flipped it, trying to keep it in, but it goes into the netting. 3:56 left now.
That's what we talked about. Not many chances tonight for the Bruins, but that was a good look right there. And again, it was some nice work down low. Put that forecheck on, win a race to the puck, and make a pass.
So with it now is Hagenson, as he gives that one off, able to find Lunsky. Puck intercepted there by Gores. Now an opportunity for the Bruins as Strinden had it. Strinden trying to center for Johnson, but he had that one taken away by Kuntz. Excellent work by Kuntz, the forward, getting back there, playing some defense. Montgomery had that one knocked off his stick by Johnson. Strinden tried to advance it, but Sahlquist took it away. Now Kuntz whiffs, and that puck won't find its way to Sandy. Shot from the point from Lunsky, intercepted by Strinden, flips it forward, almost sprung Grant Gores, but not quite. Little over 3 minutes now remaining. Kuntz has it in the near corner, centers. Shot won't go though from Montgomery. Montgomery over to Sahlquist, trying to gain possession. He's tied up in the corner. Hansen laying a big hit on Sahlquist there, tied up with him, and now Hansen goes down. Real chippy play there between Sahlquist and Hansen, as now Sahlquist fires a high one. It wasn't going to go in, but still Sandy showing some great reaction time. Loving that one down.
Yep, Bruins need to stick to the fundamentals. They're obviously tired, and if they can get out of here, 5-2 game. Look at what they've done well this game. It's a pretty high-powered, talented Red River team. If they can get out of here 5-2, you hate to say moral victory, but definitely played them much better than they did the first time they saw them this year.
Yeah, absolutely, and I know what you mean. You try to say there's no such thing as moral victory, but at the end of the day, to lose your first game against Red River 8-1 and now have it 5-2 with just a couple minutes left, I mean, that just really speaks to the strides the Bruins have made as a team since the last time these two squads faced off.
Yeah, and Red River's a good team. They're deep, they're fast, they're skilled. I think Coach French, he'll pull some positives out of here and keep this team working towards playing their best hockey as they approach tournament time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, Coach French and the rest of the coaching staff really have done a good job, making adjustments. You look at how a team improves throughout a season, and you do have to say a lot of that is on the coaching, the ability to learn from, the rougher first part of the season they had. And the other part of it, too, is just how young the Bruins are and just getting that valuable experience with a lot of guys playing their first year of varsity. In the far corner, Andrade tied up with Bryant as that puck comes loose and Morehart chips it forward. Morehart trying to take advantage of some riders out of position, but Andrade got there first. Andrade cut the pass, now dumps it in, trying to get after his own puck that time, and Sandy will just have to cover up with 1:44 remaining.
One small thing that's worked well for the Bruins is their 1-2-2. There's been some turnovers here in the third period that Red River has made that has turned into some chances and some positive zone time for the Bruins. So something like that, some scheme that they implemented and executed that the coaching staff can pull out and say, yes, that worked. Yes, this doesn't work when we have this matchup.
Absolutely. So a little over a minute left here. Riders with the face-off win in the Bruins zone. Quick shot, I think, was actually blocked by Hansen. He's had a fair share of shot blocks this evening. Now the Bruins trying to force a turnover here in the neutral zone. Not much going there. Riders do a good job keeping possession. They come away with it. Now Arell on the far side dumps it in, and Sandy chases behind his own net. Sandy leaves it for Hansen there. Hansen plays it off the boards up to Greatzer, and now Greatzer gets it off over to Arell, who will give it off over to Christian. Christian up ice to Savage. Savage's shot blocked. Hansen tracks it down, then he takes a hit from Thingvold as this puck wraps around on the near side. Harvey trying to work it forward. Greatzer gets to it in the neutral zone, bringing it into the Rider zone. But once again, the Roughriders able to knock him off the puck and take it away. Under a minute left in regulation as a quick shot from Savage is saved by Sandy.
There you saw that quick transition by Red River through the neutral zone in a real quality shot. Yep, Sandy's got a good glove. That must be from baseball. I imagine it doesn't hurt to be an excellent baseball player and have a good glove as a goalie.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Pays off pretty well for him, able to get practice in for one sport while he's playing the other. Riders continue to pressure here in the closing seconds of this one. Quick shot from a bad angle. That was good work by Montgomery, kind of making something out of nothing, but even better job by Sandy. Now look at this, Beaton moving in, throws it off the far pad. That's exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, and he had Strinden over there too, just didn't quite get the bounce.
Coming back the other way, big slap shot. Caught partially by Sandy there, thrown on net once again. Under 10 seconds left here. Pretty fast finish to this one as the seconds tick down. Riders trying to put one more in here. Centering feed won't connect, and that'll be how this one ends. So 5-2 the final score. Final shots ended up being 45-12. A pretty telling number there, but still, it's still only a 3-goal game. Those shots are, hard if you're South-Shanley. That's a pretty big deficit, but a lot of positives to build off of here for the Bruins, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. Some of it was Bruins were beat to some pucks, and that speed. And then when Red River had the opportunity, that much zone time, skill will win out, and we saw the high-end players from Red River convert. You have to be happy with the way that Sandy played in the pipes. 5 goals with that many shots, not unreasonable. Not unreasonable at all. They just needed more. The Bruins needed more zone time. And to solve that, that's not an easy puzzle to solve. It probably started in their own defensive zone. Just didn't quite chip that puck out the way they needed to and have some neutral zone transition that would give them some quality chances. When they were in there, they took advantage of it and actually put up a couple goals on very few shots.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to sum things up here. You know, a lot of positives to take away here for South-Shanley, but again, you know, I just think we're seeing why Red River is one of, if not the top team in the state. There's just so much talent there. They just do such a good job in all phases of the game. We saw strong goaltending, great defense, limiting it to only 12 shots on goal, and obviously no shortage of offense. I mean, 5 goals, 45 shots on goal. That's just really tremendous for Grand Forks Red River. And so positives for both teams, but at the end of the day, Red River comes away with the win, continues to stay on top of the standings. Folks, before we let you go, we do want to remind you one more time, Saturday, January the 20th, that's this Saturday, we got the Scheels Shootout for you, games at noon and 2:30. First up, North versus Davies. Second is South-Shanley versus Cheyenne. Be sure to tune into that. Find it on the Justice Network, Shanley TV, WDAY.com. Lastly, want to say a quick thanks to Mark Johnson. Thank you so much for filling in on short notice. For those of you at home who don't know, he is the father of Shanley TV legend, and I do say legend, Lucas Johnson. So a strong tradition with the Johnsons and Shanley TV.
Thanks, Jed. My pleasure. Glad I could do it.
So for Mark Johnson and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Farmers Union Insurance Center: South-Shanley Bruins 5, Grand Forks Red River Roughriders 2. Excuse me, that is flipped. South-Shanley Bruins 2, Grand Forks Red River Roughriders 5. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.